Hello, the world of YouTube and our Questionable Plays community. I have with me Mr. DigiWatchTCG. He came in number 16, very, very close at the recent Carta Magica Regional that is held on this date that we'll put on the screen right here. So 16 is already pretty close, cutting it close, but he did make it, got his invite, and he's also part of our locals. Anyways, Mr. DigiWatch, aka Alex, please. It's your show, what?
Yep, alright. So, starting with the eggs, we are running 4 copies of Dummy Vmon because right now this is the best egg. It just 1000 DP buff gets you over thresholds, and that's really important in this meta in my opinion. We're running 1 copy for the memes, Fluffymon.
Any particular reason why you chose Fluffymon as your 5th egg? Yeah?
So, other than the memes, most of our rookies actually just work over him. I didn't even realize it until I was testing it. And also, the inheritance is really good. When you delete something, you gain a memory, and this deck is basically Suspendville, and you want to suspend attack, and it just gives you extra memory.
All right, let's get to our rookies, who are very infamous.
Yeah. So I'm not going to spend too much time on these 8 over here. These are the rookies of Wormmon and Vmon.
Yep.
Really what they're there for is your searchers and your end of turn DNAs. And that's really what it is. The search is for Ken, the search is for Davis. They both search for free. And you want to see them. The only match that's kind of hurt me on was I was facing a Mirage player, and I just didn't have a... I would have passed turn if I played it out, so I had to figure something out.
The evils of Omega that says, oh, I punish you by searching your deck. Oh, okay, cool. All right, what other rookies are we running?
Yeah, 2 copies of the promo Vmon. I think this is still a good card. Gets you to where you need to be, reduce your digivolving by 1. The draw 1 is not a once per turn, so it's very important. 2 copies of this Vmon here. This is, in my opinion, one of the most important rookies at this point, and I actually might even try to find room for a 3rd copy. You need the DP buff, and honestly, the DP buff, in my opinion, sometimes can take place of the jamming, especially against the Mother decks, which I didn't face any of, but I was preparing for it. So 2 copies there, and then when you play out another free Digimon, you gain 1 memory, so that comes up sometimes. And then the 1 copy of Wormmon. This is really good because it kind of does what this Vmon does, the promo, in that you get to search, you get to Digivolve for a reduced cost of 1 and from your trash. So you'll see for my champions why I ran this, and it works with the ratios I was running.
All right, well, that's a nice tower of rookies. Let's get started with the champions that you were just mentioning.
So we'll go over green because I feel like that's just a really quick explanation. 2 copies of Mogumon.
Mogumon.
And 3 copies of Stingmon.
Ah.
So this is a very small ratio of green. 1, because, like I said, this Wormmon can digivolve into either of these from your trash for 1, and that's basically your 6th level 4.
I guess so. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And other than that, you just keep these in your hand. You got to be just mindful of what you have in your hand. If you have to digivolve in raising, digivolve into a blue Digimon, and keep the green for when you really need it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so these are your greens. And then for the blues, we played more. The reason why we were playing less greens was because we're running a lot more blues. So 3 of the X Vmon that gets you a memory and jamming. That's really good. 1 copy of this X Vmon. It came up one time where we were looking at additional DP gains, and this was under one of my level 6s that actually boosted it up just enough to get over a 16k in security. So
sounds good.
And then
never underestimate the power of DP buffs.
Yeah, and then we have 3 copies of Magnamon. So you could consider this deck to be like more of a split between Imperial and Magnamon X. And you could just warp Digivolve over this Magnamon, basically, and it's a security bomb. So they swing in and they hit into this. It Digivolves. Digivolves is very, very strong this format. So I wanted to try to get a little bit higher count of the Magnamon, and it worked pretty good for what I was doing. So 3 copies of this one here. So yeah, so getting to our level 5s, we have Pyojimon here.
Yep.
This is your bread and butter. Basically, it's just really, in my opinion, one of the most broken cards so far.
It is, yeah, it's definitely broken, and it is definitely your bread and butter. That is definitely 100% sure thing.
Yeah,
like you said, suspend the whole board.
Yeah, suspend the whole board,
Yeah.
keeps them locked and suspended. It definitely comes up in when your opponent's at 3. I call this deck Magna 3 because when they're at 3 security, I basically win.
You should win, right?
When they're at 3 security, I win. And then 2 of the Dino Beamon, so this definitely is a different choice. This is good because you can DNA, and then if it passes turn, you can actually just swing into one of your opponent's Digimon with all the DP buffs we have underneath it. You can go up to 11, 12, 13, 14 potentially, and swing over one of your opponent's Digimon, even if you do pass turn.
Yeah, honestly, and I have a feeling that inheritable does come up from time to time.
The inheritable will definitely come up. So going into our Megas, we are running 3 copies. Sorry, spoiler. 3 copies of
Magnamon X antibody.
Yeah. So this card is the crux of this. I love this card. I have 4 copies of the Alt-Art. I really wanted to see play it a lot of times before we change formats or I decide to play another deck. So I've been trying to make the most of my time here. And basically what you kind of want to do is get an armor underneath, which is why we're playing more armors. DNA into this Dino Beamon if possible, and then Digivolve on top over here. And then what's really cool about this is there's a lot of blockers as well in the format, especially with Mother Reaper, Shoto Reaper.
Yep.
And if you swing in your bigger 16k, 17k, and you can get over Mother,
you still get something.
You still get something because this trashes the top card. You unsuspend, and then you swing again.
No, that's pretty smart. That's actually pretty smart. It's a nice way. It's nice to see that Dino Beamon come to play more often.
Yeah.
I think it's a very underrated DNA level 5.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think that if you want to play a little bit more aggressive, you want to run the starter deck one that can attack twice. That's great. I think the big thing this deck kind of struggles with is removal, so you could definitely run the starter deck one if you feel like that's more appropriate. Speaking of removal, though, we do have 2 copies of Imperial Jamon Fighter Mode Ace.
Yep, the very most annoying removal Ace card in the game.
And then we're running 1 new card from the starter deck. Starter deck.
EX7. They're tied together, so don't worry.
Yeah, so Hexablau, this card actually came in really clutch against an Ancient Garurumon player. They get their effects by attacking, and if they only have 1, 2, 3 sources underneath it, they can't really attack and
pretty much stuck
effects.
there. Yep, pretty much stuck there.
This gets rid of Shotos. This gets rid of Tamers that are problematic on your opponent's board, and it has Ice Clad and Security +1. So I usually use this more for board clear. Because it doesn't gain any of the effects underneath, so you won't get the Dino Beamon or any of the inheritables other than I think the red and blue Vmon.
He does make up by being just a good mega.
He's a really good mega. I think one of is fine in this deck. And of course our big boy Imperial Dramon Paladin mode. I increased this to 2. I played this in a case tournament from Questionable Plays a few weeks ago, and I was only playing 1, I think. And 2 is definitely the way to go. You can put your other copy if it gets hidden security underneath. Really good, powerful card.
Sounds good. All right, let's go down to our non-Digimon.
Yep. We'll go, I guess, with these cards. I just grouped them together. This is your cheats into your top end here.
Yep,
so
just utility.
Basically, cheat.
Yep.
Out the megas. And,
any mega basically.
Yeah. And the combo I was kind of saying is your opponent loses at 3. Life is that when you go to Pyojamon, you swing, you unsuspend, you swing again.
Yep.
That's 2 hits, and then if you use one of these 3 cards, you can go into Magna on top, unsuspends, then you swing, hits the last security, unsuspend, swing again.
Yep.
And this cheats you into that mega, and you have the color requirements right here. So,
yep, that is correct.
that is basically what you do with that. But I'm trying to figure out more room in this deck for some other tech choices. And then lastly, this won't really take too long. Davis Ken, most broken tamer, needs to be hit to 1. That's coming from the Imperial Jamon player. So.
Well, we'll see, right? We'll see.
Yeah,
but
we'll see.
4 makes sense. You
Fora
do need to see, ironically, this tamer the most.
Yeah, and there's been games I didn't see it or I saw it too much and no rookies. So you just gotta hopefully hit 1 rookie at least with 1 tamer. 2 Davis Monomiyas.
Just for stability.
stability, consistency, get your pieces. And then again, another card for facing against Mother Reaper is
Shu Lin.
So yeah, so actually this was suggested by our boy Mr. David.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I honestly, it was fine without it, but it did make sense to always like have it in the back of your head. Like, you know, Shu Lin is not that bad.
No, and you know, you do run 3 copies of Magna X, so once you get this out, whether it's in security comes out or you play it early enough, once you get to Magna X and you can play out like a combo where you put Shu underneath the Magna X, Davis Ken plays out a rookie, you digivolve maybe into something else, and then you attack for Alliance for 2 checks.
Yes,
It's just really bonkers.
Yep.
And in terms of matchups, real quick, I faced a couple of Ancient Greymons, 2 Ancient Greymons and 2 Ancient Garurumons. I got my first round by a guy couldn't show up on time, so unfortunately he lost. One Mirage I lost to, one Red Hybrid I lost to, and then I faced the Lilith X. I won against that one. I faced my favorite. I have to say this. I got to shout out. There was an Eosmon player, and I'm not gonna lie, that was actually probably the hardest matchup. Yeah, the Tamer stun is crazy, and honestly, I went in, I didn't know much about Eosmon, and he was like, "Oh, you want to play out a Tamer from the effects?" And I'm like, "Sure, I'll play out this Tamer." And then,
oh, cool! It just doesn't work.
And then, if you don't know, the new BT17 level 5 Eosmon, for every 2 Tamers, you de-digivolve one of their Digimon. Which against this deck, you don't want to de-digivolve.
No, it's pretty bad when you de-digivolve.
So I lost game 1 against the guy, and I was like, "Wait a minute, okay, I think I got how the deck works now," and I basically was able to figure out how to beat it. I think the combo that they did is something like when attacking, you play out an Eosmon, and then the Eosmon de-digivolve occurs, brings it down to like a rookie, and then the other when attacking is when an Eosmon is played all turns, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with less DP than itself.
Yep.
So it just clears an entire stack without really trying.
Yeah, Eosmon can definitely sneak up with you. Thank you, DigiWatchTCG. Congratulations on 16th place. I think you had a very fortunate run, and hopefully good luck at Nationals.
Thank you.